I grew up in Massapequa, Long Island, and my parents did very, very well when I was a child. Everything was going great. My father made a lot of money. My mother was very successful. We had our own house, and my parents had cars. My sister and I had our own rooms, and every Christmas we got virtually whatever we wanted. But my father, while he was working in his career, who was also a veteran, kind of had a drug problem that developed, and from that we wound up losing everything. And I can remember one day in April of 1987, I think it was, my mother drove me to the house and they were taking everything out. They took all our furniture out on Long Island. They don't put it in the truck, they just put it on your lawn, and you have to figure out what you're going to do with your belongings. Just imagining someone walking into your front door in the sanctum of your home, and they just take everything, and there's strangers in your house, in your room, packing your clothes up, throwing things in boxes. And that's what it was. I was 14 years old, and it was absolutely embarrassing. My mother, I remember her saying she would never forgive my father for letting his children get put out, but she eventually did forgive him. But I realized how painful it was to go from having your own room and your own furniture and your own clothes to having to live with relatives, having to go live at my grandmother's house. It was very, very embarrassing. And going back to school was tough because naturally kids are cruel. So I was teased and ridiculed because of something I had no control over, and devastating to go through that experience. And at that moment, I realized, you have to put yourself in positions in life to overcome some of the hardships of life. Life is unpredictable and it's unscripted. I can remember my mother trying not to cry, and my mom looked at me and she said, "Don't cry." I never forgot that. And it was about to start raining, and my mother said, "No, it's not going to rain on my furniture. God is not going to allow that to happen." And I was thinking, like, God is not going to allow it to happen. He allowed us to be put out. And I just remember her faith in that moment. But what it taught me in life was things don't matter as much. The person really matters. That anything that's lost can be purchased. It can be regained. The question is, what do you get out of it when you go through something very, very hard or very embarrassing or very difficult to navigate through? The idea is to just not quit, to find strength in yourself to say, no matter how hurt I am, I still want better for myself. I still can do better in life. I can still achieve my goals. And this is just a temporary setback. It's just an obstacle. And that's what life is. It's about getting back up. It's about having the resiliency to not want to quit and say, this thing is behind me, couldn't control it, couldn't change it, but I know tomorrow is going to bring me to a better place in my life. So through all that, sometimes economically you're going to face some hardships, but realize money doesn't define you, nor does status. What you have inside, that's what matters most.